last session of the course and the last session in the entire program, right? So this is the last time we'll meet online to discuss the program. I hope it's not the last time we'll meet to discuss sustainability in the built environment. Um, I'll start with a general question. Do you have any question on the material that you went through this week, week 3, or even in any of the weeks, week 1, 2, or 3? Do you have any general question?
Not from my end, Doctor.
Okay, Ala, do you have any pressing question? Hey, go ahead.
Yeah, I just have a quick question. Like for the LEED, the prerequisites and the points that we saw in last week, those are mainly for the construction projects. There will be different criteria and different credits for example, if there is an ongoing or like a building in operation, there will be different requirements, right? And different credits.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Exactly. Yep. Exactly. You got it right. So the one you got exposed to is the most general one. It's the build for new buildings or major renovations, what we call the points. But the difference is, so you have different LEED systems, right? So you have all kinds of LEED for new buildings. You have LEED for neighborhoods, right? So and you know what it really stands for now. The areas that they cover are the same. The differences are usually in the points. So the one you saw now is what we call BD plus C, or building design and construction. There is LEED for interior design. There's for operating and maintenance. That's the one you're talking about. There's for neighborhood development, for cities and communities, and so on. So the differences that you see are in the points allocation. So for neighborhoods and cities and communities, for example, they emphasize more transportation, common services, outside spaces, and things like that. But similar areas, similar credit systems, but different points, if that makes sense.
Yes, perfect. And for example, if we have an existing hotel in operation, we'll go for the maintenance, right? The operation and maintenance category.
Absolutely. That's the natural choice. But Kamen, you have a choice sometimes. If it's a major renovation, you could choose to go for LEED building operation and maintenance, or you could go for BD plus C if there's a requirement on the extent of renovation that is taking place. In some cases, you could be eligible to go for 2 types of LEED certification, and that's common. And people, what they do is they do a simple simulation to try to see which of the 2 approaches is likely to give them points in an easier way, or cheaper, or faster, and they go for it. So yeah, you could go with either of the 2.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. What about the Istidama? What was your thoughts on the Istidama? Because you went through LEED for a couple of weeks, and then we gave you a little bit about the Istidama Pearl rating system. What caught your attention? What did you feel was kind of interesting when you looked at the Istidama system?
Now the credits, I felt that it's more or less the same as the ones covered in LEED.
Very similar, right?
Yeah. But I think for Istidama currently there is no option for buildings that are already in operation, right? It's only mainly now for new buildings.
Right. 100%. That's the. I think they're working on it. I think that's it. There are some other differences, as you know very well. Like for example, LEED is 100% voluntary. Like it's not a mandatory system, although in some places owners may select to make it mandatory. Like at some point, government buildings in the United States, there was a movement to make them all LEED certified, any new buildings. But in general, it's a voluntary system. Istidama is a mandatory system, and it's pearl related. So it's 1 pearl, 5 pearls, 3 pearls, whereas LEED talks about points, as you know. They focus on similar areas. You just said that 100%. In LEED, you have more options on which rating system to go for: BD plus C, interior, neighborhood, and so on. In Istidama, you have if I remember, when we went together to Abu Dhabi, to Sustainable City, they talked about different systems. They talked about Istidama Villa, Istidama buildings, and communities. I think those were the options that were there. But it's not as many options as Hello Jad, as many options as the LEED system, for example. Yeah. And as you know, obviously, Istidama is really Abu Dhabi specific. Like, it's really built and designed for that context. So there are some cultural factors and features that are included that you may not see in LEED. Good question. What else?
Usually the
How
Istidama
about
certification, sorry, will have
Go ahead.
any validity, or it's a one time and you don't need to recertify?
Yeah. So that's a tricky question. What I know is I know quite well LEED versus BREEAM. With LEED versus BREEAM, with LEED you get it once for all, right? BREEAM you have to recertify every 5 years. That I know. And in Istidama, I believe it follows the similar to LEED. So it basically, once you get it, yani, you will, it's quite similar to LEED in terms of the process. So you do some kind of pre-construction assessment, meaning when you're in the design, and you can get some indication on whether you will get the 5 pearl, 3 pearl, 4 pearl, or no pearl. And then in the construction, there's the final assessment, the final review, just like LEED. And once you get it, you get it. Khalas. You don't have to reapply for it. Whereas BREEAM, the UK-based system, you have to reapply for it and be re-reviewed after 5 years. Istidama, I'm pretty sure it's exactly like LEED. You get it and it's permanent.
I thought that LEED, it should be like recertification every 3 years, or it's not the case for LEED?
Unless it's really new. When I said for the LEED exam, there was no recertification process required or anything like that. It was a one-time. Once you do design, you do the pre-assessment, and then you go into construction and you get the final assessment. But they may have changed more recently to recertify. It may be for the operating and maintenance, because this is operation and maintenance issue. But in terms of new buildings and so on, I believe it's one time for new construction. But if you want to get LEED operation and maintenance, then yeah, probably every X number of years. So I trust your word, 3 years as a recertification.
Yeah, I think for the operation and maintenance, I was reading about it. I saw there should be like
Yeah.
recertification every 3 years.
There you go. It makes sense. There you go. Makes sense because it's for operation and maintenance. But when you do major renovation, so what a project may do is may go for BD plus C when they build a new compound, and then they can showcase all that, and then with minimal effort, probably in 3 years, go for LEED operation and maintenance, and then every 3 years they would have to renew it, and it would not be as onerous, as difficult as when you go the first time through BD plus C. Yeah, and when you studied for LEED in the past couple of weeks, part of the process of getting your building LEED certified is committing to share data on the performance of the building to USGBC, to the United States Green Building Council, data specifically on operation, energy, and water, and if there are updates on policies and things like that. So that feeds into the recertification for operation and maintenance.
For 5 years, doctor, right?
for you have to commit to provide data, but the recertification happens every 3 years. I'll take Alaa's word. I'm sure she did the right research. Every 3 years for the recertification.
No, I mean for sharing the data.
Oh
should
yes,
be
yes, yes,
for
yes,
for
yes,
5
yes.
years.
Yes, 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 yes. You're right. You're right. Yeah. What about the assignment? Have you guys completed the assignment, last week's assignment, the major one?
Yeah.
It was okay. How was it? Your experience with that assignment?
It was good, interesting.
Hopefully you
Doctor.
learned something new. Hello, hello. Hi, Jad.
I don't have any question, just a feedback. The course is very informative and very interesting.
Thank you.
Very clear and very well organized. I wish
you.
it was like deeper into, especially Istidama, maybe the lead. We got more information.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the overall course, it was like really interesting and amazing.
Thank you, Jad. كلك ذوق. Thank you. Look, we're gonna upload. I'm gonna figure out a way to send you the links. We did a couple of podcasts on Istidama, so we'll upload them for you so that you can as soon as they're ready, so that you can. They're not part of the course or anything. That's just FYI if you want to know a little bit more about.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Yeah, we'll send them your way. Otherwise, you guys are ready for meeting up in 10 days? Are you coming to the little celebration?
Yes, inshallah.
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll do it, hopefully.
Perfect.
It's an expo, right?
Yeah, it's going to be at the expo at the Terra building.
Okay.
Yeah. You'll receive the information from Jihan. Sure. He's always on top of things. Anything else? Any other questions, comments?
For the lead GA certification, this also requires renewal every 2 years, or it's a one-time thing and that's it?
Yeah, you have to maintain your lead GA membership. So that they have a very strict process on maintaining the lead GA. You have to show that you're keeping up with this. So for example, taking like this course, you could claim it part of it. So every 2 years you have to show evidence that you're keeping up. You have to show that you have X number of hours, something like 12 or 15 hours of some form of continuous education, a small fee that you pay, and you submit your hours before the renewal deadline. So when you say, for example, I've taken the equivalent of a 15-hour course at AUB, and you send them the syllabus of the course that you, let's say you were a lead GA and you took this course with me and Yara now, you can send the syllabus of the course and most likely they will accept it. And they'll say this counts as 15 hours and you just pay the fee and you get the recertification. Especially what they look for in the syllabus is, are there lead related factors and so on and so forth in it. So in a course like this one, obviously there's lead related factors. So what I've done in the past is, being an instructor, I would send them the syllabus of the course that I'm teaching and how lead is included. I also would share with them some of the papers that we write on various aspects of sustainability, primarily my research, which is recycling of construction and demolition waste, which is one of the topics in the LEED system, or Istidama, is circularity of materials and recycling of materials. So they count that as part of the hours and to get the accreditation renewed. All right. Okay, so short and sweet. I think if there are no other questions or anything, if you remember anything, just feel free to drop me an email anytime you want on any question related to sustainability in the built environment, building rating systems, and so on. Look forward to seeing you in less than 2 weeks in Expo, inshallah. Yeah, look forward to that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So long. Assalamu.